Sunday service, where the sermon gets raw. Preaching liberation, raise fists, break laws. Holy text inked in the struggle, pure grit, Bibles bound in leather. But these souls won't quit. Bronze halo shining, ancestors in the pews, preaching revolution, not begging for the truce. Power in the pigment, divine and unapologetic. Holy streets paved in gold blessings, kinetic. Church bells ringing, chains breaking on sight. Every verse hitting hard, a gospel for the fight. Call and response, feel the truth in the fire. Black power reigns, elevate and inspire. Born of fire, baptized in the streets. Faith in the struggle, raise holy beats. Confessions of a hustler, sins in the smoke. But the gospel in the grind ain't no joke. This ain't no choir robes, this is black and free. Steeple reminisce on a raised fist decree. The church of black power, where truth will thrive. Welcome to Sunday service, where the spirit's alive. This ain't no choir robes, this is black and free. Steeple reminisce on a raised fist decree. The church of black power, where truth will thrive. Welcome to Sunday service, where the spirit's alive. Yeah. This ain't no choir robes, this is black and free. Steeple reminisce on a raised fist decree. The church of black power, where truth will thrive. Welcome to Sunday service, where the spirit's alive. Yeah. Get up.
I have to say it. I know it makes some of you uneasy, but I have to say it just every now and then. I have to say it because I believe you should remind yourself. Remind yourself to remember, to remember, to remember. Just so you won't forget that the white man is not a devil, but the white man is the devil. You wouldn't be here if some devil had brought you here. Harlem wouldn't be run down if some devil hadn't put us in this condition. Bronx, Brooklyn, none of it would be run down. Watts in Los Angeles, sections of Detroit, South Side, West Side of Chicago. It wouldn't be run down if some devil hadn't put us in this position. I know some of you love them. Lord have mercy, child. I just loves everybody. I don't care what them old Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad people say. I just love everybody. Lord have mercy, child. I just can't hate nobody. That's what we say. But you hate your black self. If you didn't hate your black self, you wouldn't wear a scary curl. You'd wear it the way God gave it to you, and you wear a button saying, I'm nappy, and I'm happy.
Warning. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure we're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, welcome back to another Sunday service. I want to thank everybody who's here. Let's do that first, because there's a lot I want to speak about, so I don't want to forget to do this. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Happy belated birthday. I hope you had a great one yesterday. I hope you went out there and used your best dancing shoes or something and got your groove on. Happy to you, sister. Salute to our sister Aquarius Minded. Salute to our brother Big Black God. Thank you for being here. Salute to our brother Reparations Nations. Thank you for being here. Salute to our sister Angelic. Thank you for being here. And salute to everyone who's not in the chat, but who will be in the comments later. Shout out to the replay gang and everything like that. Now, family, today I want to talk about some of the napkin folk. I want to talk about some of these people that are running around here with buyer's remorse. I want to talk about the people who are now trying to get us to fight their battles with them. And I don't know about y'all, family. Well, I'm pretty sure that I speak for everybody. It's a hell no for us. It's a hell no for us. You see, under the system of white supremacy, these people were very comfortable. All of these folks. And they thought that as long as we were the ones being attacked, as long as we were the one taking the brunt of all of the issues, as long as we were the one being targeted, everybody was okay with it. Everybody was cool. There was no problems. But now that Trump is in office again, and the same people who put him in office before put him back in office, there's a lot of folks running around here acting like, we are the world. Acting as if we're sitting in church and they're just crying on our shoulders nowadays, talking about, well, can't we all just come together? Can't we all just get along? And I'm in the pew saying, hell no. You guys thought that white supremacy was a joke. That's one thing. But it's another thing when you are a part of you're a part of the white supremacist system as a white person, and now the system isn't working for you the way that you thought it was going to work for you. So now, some of the things that Trump is doing in office isn't affecting these people so well. And now they're all crying about it. They want to take to the streets. Once again, they found the courage, and they're getting out there and they're waving their fist. Keep your hands off of our Social Security. Keep your hands off of our VA. Keep your hands off of our businesses, Trump. Your tariffs are destroying me. All while trying to get us to get out into the streets with them, so that they can actually have a touch of relevance to all of these protests that's really going nowhere. All of these protests that these folks are getting out there and doing, they're not going nowhere. And I can't wait to see this protest on April 5th, excuse me. I can't wait to see it. We're going to do a bunch of I told you so's and hands. I'm going to point a lot of fingers. But family, I want to get into the meat of this broadcast today. So I want to go here. This one, that, yeah, this is it here. Here we go. Let's go here to start. Come on, there we go.
This has been a family business for 50 years. You got to take into the fact how the Canadians perceive this, and they are incredibly pissed off.
We met Sterling Morse in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. He owns the Point of View Inn, which is only about 150 miles from the Canadian border.
We have been here.
He says the majority of his regular customers are French Canadians.
Very traditional people, families that take the same room, the same dates every year.
Not this year. Sterling says most of his Canadian customers have canceled, fed up with President Donald Trump's antagonistic rhetoric toward Canada. There's the threat of tariffs too, and lately Trump has suggested redrawing the border between the two countries.
It's affecting at least 90% of my business.
Are you saying you've had 90% of your business canceled this year?
Easily.
Point of View Inn.
During our visit, yet another Canadian called to cancel.
Listen, monsieur, you don't need to explain anymore.
This is every registration card from last year. This is the Canadian. That's my American. This just went away.
That's all you got now. That doesn't pay the bills.
Does not.
Best of my ability.
For Sterling Morse, it all snowballed shortly after Donald Trump's inauguration.
All of a sudden, an email pops up. It's almost like, your phone, ding, ding, slow ding. People that have been here for 35, 40 years, you recognize that number. And it's like, I know why they're calling. And the anger is, in my eyes, incredibly justified.
Here in Old Orchard Beach, roughly 40% of the tourists come from Canada, according to the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber's executive director told us that those tourists make up about 30 to 40% of the revenue for many of the businesses here.
I think we're still kind of seeing how many different industries this impacts. It doesn't just impact tourism, of course.
Over at the Alouette Beach Resort, owner Fred Kennedy hasn't seen a cancellation yet, but he's heard an earful from his Canadian customers. What are they telling you?
Well, their feelings are basically hurt. They don't like to be referred to as the 51st state, and they feel that they just want to express themselves and in sort of a nationalistic way. As a innkeeper, hotelier, I'm concerned with losing any guests. I'm sort of cautiously optimistic that things will resolve themselves as time goes on.
Old Orchard Beach is a seasonal town, so businesses have about 12 to 15 weeks to make their money for the entire year. Back at the Point of View Inn, Sterling Morse doesn't see any way he can make up that lost revenue this season.
You got to start thinking about the end game. The end game of 50 years of tradition, to be honest, yeah.
Like you would consider closing down, selling?
There may be no choice.
Sterling Morse, the inn owner who says he lost 90% of his business, went to school in Montreal and feels a real kinship with Canadians. He told me that their anger is justified and he appreciates their renewed sense of nationalism. He also told me that he has tried to convince some of them to change their minds and to come anyway, but he says they are standing firm with Canada. Randy Kay, CNN, Portland, Maine.
They standing firm with Canada. Trump didn't piss them off so damn much. Folks say, you know what? We ain't going to be going to America. You know what? Let's just stay here. And now this man has lost 90% of his business. But should I care? Should I be hurt by that? That has nothing to do with us. Boo-hoo. Do you know who also lost, if not 90% of their business, but all of their business? A lot of Black business owners doing the plan gimmick. Hell, all throughout from the 50s all the way to now. Nobody cared about that situation then. So now I'm supposed to care about your business going out of business because Trump is in office. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. And I'm glad a lot of these folks are getting their wake-up calls. I'm very happy. Let's go over here to these farmers who are furious that they voted for Trump.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did. I'll never vote for him again.
This is survival at this point. I mean, for a lot of operations, it is a survival thing. That's what's allowing you to survive. That's what's keeping this farm going.
My uneducated guess is that he better hurry up and start producing a little bit, because this negotiation that I'm seeing so far has not panned out.
You voted for this president. Yes. Regrets?
Now, family, notice what kind of farmers you don't see in this video. Just want to put that on the table. I don't see no farmers that look like us in this video.
Yes.
You voted for President Trump. You liked his, I remember you saying, you liked his can-do, get-it-done attitude. So now, in this moment, when you say you're in a free fall, what is your message to him?
I was on the Trump train. I was off the Trump train, back and forth. Where I'm going for now is I got to protect my business. You know, a minute ago, the president, you played a clip that he said that we were patriots. Well, I'll tell you what, to me, that's just a design to make me continue to be quiet, and I'm not going to be quiet.
You know what, Christopher? That is
patriot
actually
is this.
something.
I got to
that is-
protect my family.
You speaking out against a
That man is so irate, he couldn't let the woman finish. She started talking. He said, nah, don't you hear me? I'm talking right now. I'm talking. Let me finish what I have to say. I'm going to rewind that. That's hilarious.
Train. I was off the Trump train, back and forth. Where I'm going for now is I got to protect my business. You know, a minute ago, the president, you played a clip that he said that we were patriots. Well, I'll tell you what, to me, that's just a design to make me continue to be quiet, and I'm not going to be quiet.
You know what, Christopher?
Being a
That is
patriot
actually
this.
something.
I got to
that is-
protect my family.
You speaking out against a trade war, is that unpatriotic, Christopher?
No, it's certainly not unpatriotic at all. And I'm not going to have my, certainly not going to have my patriotism questioned. I'm not sure why the president's even bringing this up. Listen, for me to be a patriot, the best thing I can do is to take care of my family, to take care of my farm, and make sure that I stay viable. Because farmers buy things. They buy things that are manufactured. And by the way, you know what we buy? We buy things made out of steel. We buy things made out of aluminum. So that's our duty. And why the farming community has to take one in the shorts just so that the president can have a talking point and be tough on China, just is a little bit beyond me.
Wowsy, woo woo. They're out here hurting bad. And I love this comment here. This warms my heart. I'm feeling fuzzy all over. I absolutely agree with you, Aquarius. I feel fuzzy inside when I see this. So when you have these people, and I know you guys have heard these folks come into our spaces, especially whenever Tariq hosts a space, and we're talking about the issues that America has and the issues that we've been dealing with for a while, and these people are just getting a small taste of it. And we're talking about how these, protests aren't really going anywhere. You get some pale white woman coming up in there, crying all over the place, acting as if the sky is falling with the Chicken Little tactic, talking about, well, can't we all just come together? They're using us against each other and all this nonsense. I want to play a few videos, a few examples of such nonsense. And I'm going to clear up why it's nonsense as well. Let's go.
I know this is really hard for humanity to hear, but in order to get through this change and through this time, we have to come together. We do. Collectively, we have to come together. And I know the masculine and feminine are fighting right now, and we literally dislike each other. But in order to win this spiritual war, in order to fix this issue that we are having collectively, we have to come together. We have to. We can't just keep blaming each other. And no, nobody wants to hear that right now, but it's the truth. We are more powerful together collectively than we are apart, and they want us to be divided. That's how they're winning this war. In order to win, we have to come together. We have to face. And I think there will be a time where humanity is going to have this breakthrough where we end up coming together to fix whatever is happening right now. But that is the answer. It's always been the answer. I know this is really hard for humanity to hear, but in order to get through this change and through this time, we have to come together. We do. Collectively, we have to come together. And I know the masculine and feminine are fighting right now, and we literally dislike each other. But in order to win this spiritual war, in order to fix this issue that we are having collectively, we have to come together. We have to. We can't just keep blaming each other. And no, nobody wants to hear that right now, but it's the truth. We are more powerful together collectively than we are apart, and they want us to be divided. That's how they're winning this war. In order to win, we have to come together. We have to face. And I think there will be a time where humanity is going to have this breakthrough where we end up coming together to fix whatever is happening right now. But that is the answer. It's always been the answer. I know.
Family, I played that twice because I wanted y'all to hear the gravity of the way they're speaking now. This is a spiritual war now, guys. Did you pick that up? This is no longer just a regular fight. This is a spiritual war. We need to come together so we can beat the powers that be, the demons behind the curtain, so that we can override the devil. This is a spiritual war. Very interesting. Very interesting. And salute and shout out to our brother Black Truth United and our sister Queen Yasmin. Thank you for being here. This has become a spiritual war, ladies and gentlemen. So you better go put on your armor of God because, you know, we got to get out in the trenches, they say. And we got to fight powers that are unseen, according to this young lady. But the funny thing is, we've been fighting the spiritual war by our damn self since we got off the fields. I mean, what happened to, you know, I don't see, where were you? Where were all of you? So we got to come together, people. Where were you when we were talking about our reparations? And people like yourself continuously jump out in front of cameras and talk about why we don't deserve reparations. Where were you when we were trying to move into these neighborhoods that you guys didn't want us moving into? Where were you when we tried to become educated and you guys literally said, no, we're going to start charging college tuition? Where were you? Where were you people? I want to know. Because we're not here to be bamboozled. We're not here to be led astray. You got to be much better than that. Let's go here, family.
They stay silent because they fear him. They stay silent
because they convince themselves that someone else is going to fix this. But history doesn't bend towards justice on its own. It bends because people like us demand it. Because we told it so. So today, we send this message to every Republican in Congress who still believes in the rule of law. Stand the fuck up! You can stand up! Stand with the You can continue to power the shadows, or you can step forward and do what's right. You can fight for your own career, or you can fight for your country.
They're upset. Stand up. Stand up. If you're not afraid, they're not coming out because they're afraid of the man in office. I know he ain't talking about us. We ain't coming out because it's not our business. We ain't coming out because this has nothing to do with us. We ain't coming out because
my problem. Yeah, it's just not my problem. No.
Period. This is y'all mess to clean up. That was y'all out there stomping for that dude. We told everybody, look, we're not getting nothing out of the deal. We're voting the couch party this time around. You know, we'll see what happens in the next go. And y'all was so proud to be MAGA. And now you're leaving MAGA. I think that's the hashtag. Excuse me. Yeah, it's still trash. But still, that's the hashtag. Leaving MAGA. Because your feelings are hurt. And you didn't get what you want out of the deal. But you got exactly what you deserve out of the deal. That's the thing. You people don't get it. You asked for this by being the racist that you are. By trying to make sure Black Americans be the target of all harm in America, you now get that reciprocity. You get that whole comedic effect going right back to you. You're getting what you deserve, not what you asked for. Y'all ever heard the saying that God'll never give you what you ask for, but he'll give you what you need? Oh yeah, you guys are out here getting what you need. That's what's happening here. And y'all don't like the taste of the cake. You wanted to have this big old cake here full of feces. You just didn't expect that you'll be the one eating that cake. You didn't expect Donald Trump to come in like Ike Turner and say, eat the cake, anime, and shove your face all up in it. You was expecting that for us. But now that you got that, oh, you don't like the taste of the cake. And we're just sitting back watching y'all get forced to eat the cake. And one of the homies in the background crying like, just eat the cake, anime, just eat the cake. And the rest of us, we're over here laughing. That's just what it is. Exactly, Miss Nisi. How does that cake taste now? I know you love that. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love the taste of that cake. That was specially made and handcrafted by your own hands for Foundation of Black Americans. And what ended up happening? You got a chance to taste that cake yourself. I know you love it. Let's go here. This dude, he's so damn lost, he had to go stand by the water and film something asking, can we just come together already? He's searching for the spirit in the waters. They got the sad ass music playing in the background. This just looks like somebody getting ready. He needs help. Whoever filmed this video, I would suggest that he calls the Unalive Yourself hotline. Go talk to somebody, because he just don't know what to do with his life. He's just sitting there hoping the spirit of the water take his anguish away from him. That's what's happening there. I don't even know what else to say. That's just what's happening there. And salute to the big back God. Thank you very much for your Cash App family. Your donation is blessed tenfold. I appreciate your contribution, family. So when all this stuff isn't working and we're not giving them what they want out of us, when we're not giving them the reaction that they're looking for, we're not being Pavlov's dog whenever they ring the bell, we're not eating or speaking when they ring that bell, they ended up coming out with this, I guess you could call it a commercial that kind of makes people, or should make people, think about them being next. But notice, I want y'all to pay attention in this clip, because they're trying to convince us that we will be next while using a white dude to get their point across. Let's go here, family.
First, they came for women's reproductive rights, but I am a man. Then they came for the drop-off ballot boxes, but I vote on election day. Then they came for the field workers, day laborers, the housekeepers, and the lawn guys, but I was born here. Next, they came for the trans kids, school library books, and children's health care. But I am a straight, healthy adult. Then they came for our public schools. But my kids are grown. But now I'm starting to wonder, what if they come for me?
Family, as a straight white male in America, who would that video actually be targeting? Because it ain't targeting other straight white men. What would they come after them for? What is it exactly that Trump would come and target straight white males for? So it definitely had nothing to do with them. He was trying to send that message to you. He wanted you to feel like, well, what if they come for me next? Well, they first went after, affirmative action. They went after women's right to abortion, and they went after the schools, but my kids are grown, right? And then they went after, but then I start to think, well, what if they come after me? My guy, as a straight white man in America, you are exactly who the country was built for. And there was I can't remember exactly who said it, but if you're poor and white in America, you didn't play the game right. Because it's meant for you. So this ain't scaring us. If anything, it's sending a dog whistle to your own people that they should be scared. And I don't think that that's happening either. But they thought it was going to scare us. Oh, this is get those Negroes on the... Boy, get those Negroes on the plantation. It's not. Shout out. It isn't. Absolutely. So with everything backfiring on them and them not getting any type of traction, now they send out their LGBTQ friends to do a little song and dance. to say, hey, guys, why can't we just all come together?
It makes me wonder, would it all change if we just sat down and speak? I'm not upset with you for fearing something that you've never seen. When people painted you a picture of who I am supposedly, it's not surprising that you're trying to not get too close to me. I'm not an act of revolution that you're watching on the news. I bet you like me if we talked, I bet you wouldn't have a clue. And when the swords are to the side, and when the army finally falls, you'll see we're just two human beings, not too different after all. It makes me wonder, would it all change if we just sat down and speak? I'm not upset with you for fearing something that you've never seen. When people painted you a picture of who I am supposedly, it's not surprising that you're trying to not get too close to me. I'm not an act of revolution that you're watching on the news. I bet you like me if we talked, I bet you wouldn't have a clue. And when the swords are to the side, and when the army finally falls, you'll see we're just two human beings, not too different after all.
Family. Elton bombed. This is what's going on, family. They're trying everything in the playbook and it's just not working for them. And this is a new one out of the playbook. I ain't seen them send out the Transformer community out here singing and trying to get us on the damn. Elton bombed for real. He is not. They really losing it. Exactly, Reparations Nation. They don't know what to do. They can't get us on that plantation and it's killing them on either side. You got the mad ones from the Republicans and the MAGA, and then you got the delusional ones from the left and the Democrats. And we're just laughing at both sides, pointing our finger, sitting back, watching it go down, popping popcorn, throwing a little bit of cheese on top. And we're just maxing and relaxing. And they're trying everything out of their playbook in order to bring us together. I'm going to tell you why we're not coming together for you. This isn't Michael Jackson, come together right now. Because when we were out there trying to bring and unify our country, bring our country to high stakes, to the top of the mountaintop, you guys, every step of the way, and when I say you guys, I'm talking directly to the napkin community. Every step of the way, you guys had to hinder any type of economic progress that Black Americans had. Not just that, but any program that would benefit Black Americans, whether indirectly or directly, you guys got together the same way y'all telling us we need to come together and fight. Y'all got together and fought to have laws passed to make sure. Let's go through some of these things, let's do that. So in the 60s, when college tuition was free, and y'all couldn't stop us from going to school, you guys got together and fought to change that situation. So now everybody has to pay tuition, with the exception of many of the white folk, because even them, a lot of these folks, they put their money and their wealth inside of trust and then say they ain't got no money just so their kids can get financial aid. Not just that. These kids also get legacy admissions and things like that. So while the system was actually set up to help everybody at that time, everybody can go to college, they made sure to change that so that they can give a leg up to the napkin community. Also, they created, even when segregation was overturned or deemed unconstitutional, they created their own forms of segregated academies. And they did this for decades by creating these segregated groups like fraternities, like sororities. And they made sure to have these racial issues, basically, I forget what it's called. What basically the bylaws made sure that Black folks could not get into these areas. They couldn't get into these spaces. Hell, you can look at the connection between, the universities and slavery in itself. I mean, that in itself is a whole nother broadcast. But family, so even with the social clubs, this is where you get your country clubs and things like that. They made sure to come together and say, no, we don't want any of y'all in here. No Blacks allowed here. Even after segregation, they made sure to put a dollar amount on these clubs to make sure it was a high dollar amount. The same thing they do with these books that have our actual history in it. I saw a book the other day that spoke about Black Native Americans, and the book was $20,000. So they put a paywall up to keep us out of places. They put a paywall up to keep information out of our hands. They excluded us from the New Deal labor policies. They excluded us from the New Deal labor policies. The unions were created to keep newly freed slaves from taking all the jobs. And then they kept us out of the unions. They kept us out of those unions for decades. Let's be very clear about why we ain't coming together. Let's be very clear why we can't just all get along. Your whole damn existence in this country has been a breath of hatred. Has been a targeting system towards foundational Black Americans. The welfare policies. When they was running around here talking about foundational Black Americans was the bulk of people getting welfare, they went and changed the welfare policies to make it more harder to be eligible for those benefits, which majorly affected foundational Black Americans. Even though the welfare system has always benefited the white majority more. The housing discrimination, redlining, employment discrimination, all of these things is because people hated us so much. They hate us so much that they cannot get it through their head that they're actively screwing themselves over. They're not even thinking about that until it actually happens. And shout out to Dr. Kaba, because our brother said that everything they did to us, they practiced on their women first. So let's just say we disappeared. Let's just say we disappeared. Who do you think would be getting the brunt of everything? It would be the African women. They'll be going after each other's necks. Matter of fact, I want to show that real quick, family. Let me show you before we get back into because like I said, everything, banking practices, God dang, the war on drugs, all of this stuff, nobody came out and wanted to come together to help us. So this guy over here, he's talking about the farmers. Why should we come together if y'all not coming together yourselves? So I want to show this to you. He don't give a damn about the farmers. Well, at least he say.
This is breaking news. Texas farmers are sounding the alarm on this tariff war. And in more breaking news, nobody cares. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's some of you too, but as far as farmers sounding the alarm, I don't care. I have to admit, I don't care at all, because the last time Donald Trump was president, 100,000 farmers across the country lost their farms. Yeah. So overwhelmingly, farmers voted for this man again, knowing full well of his history the last time he was president. So from me to you, farmers, I don't care. I don't care how bad things get for you. I don't care if you lose your farm. I don't care if you, I don't care. At least I don't care to hear about it. I really don't. Because this is exactly what you voted for. And you're going to get what you voted for. You're going to get 4 more years of Donald Trump not giving a damn about farmers whatsoever. So enjoy.
Family, and it don't stop there. It absolutely don't stop there. Remember when I said, well, shout out to Dr. Kaba. Dr. Kaba said if it wasn't for us, they'd be going in on their own women and the women be going in on their men. Well, this Karen, she's trying to get that popping. She's trying to turn this thing, and they tried everything else. So they went back to the old playbook, start flipping through the playbook, and then they ripped out the page and said, feminism, yes, that'll work. That will work. Let's play the feminist card. And so now this woman, she's basically saying, hey, everybody should be afraid of these ICE agents because, you know, any old man can come around and dress as an ICE agent now. And, you know, what do you think that's what they're going to be doing? Not just anybody, us women are going to be under attack. Salute to our brother, Black Truth United. Thank you for your donation, brother, and your gift is blessed tenfold. Thank you for your contribution, family. So she wants to bring all the women together to worry about what the men will do if nobody stopped these ICE raids.
Do you understand that when an ICE agent walks up to you with no name given, with a mask over their face, what they are doing and what could cause them to do later on to other people, and not just them as in ICE, I mean men who are watching this shit happen and will then decide, what's stopping me from walking up to anyone and acting like an ICE agent, especially toward women? Do y'all not think that more and more women are going to be taken, that more and more men are going to behave like this, that there are going to be groups of men behaving like this? And the fucking shit that even makes me more irate about this was about all of, you know, Trump didn't want masks, if you can remember, but now he wants all of his little servitudes out there pulling people off the streets to wear masks now. What? Why isn't there a fucking law that says they have to tell you who they are and show some identification? This is going to have widespread ramifications for people being taken. And I mean people, human beings, not immigrants, not illegals, not undocumented criminals, women. children, men, whomever. There is something wrong here for you to not grasp this and understand this. And please put this out as a warning, especially to women and young girls. That's all I have to say on this matter right now, because it makes me crazy right now.
Family, this woman is delusional as hell. She is out here crying her ass off, trying to get somebody please come help her. Somebody come and help and save this woman. This woman talking about these she said these untitled, these dudes are walking around with no type of ID or anything. All ICE agents have identification, ma'am. And where, if they're just going to be taking people, where are they going to take them if they're fake ICE agents? It don't make any sense. Shout out to Lemonade. Thank you for being here, sister. It don't make any sense. Where would they take you? Since you said we should be worried and all women should be worried. Like, these people are highly delusional. But these are the people we're supposed to be coming together with. No. Won't be no coming together. I feel like Tyson in 88. Let me explain that to you, family. My grandfather, he did a lot. But my grandfather, there was two things that my grandfather loved. He loved Westerns and he loved boxing. He was a boxing coach for a while. And he would play these old boxing tapes. And one of the tapes that I remember him playing a lot was the fight against Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali. And that fight was so brutal because if you didn't see that fight, this was during the stages of Ali coming onto his onset, his Parkinson's disease. This is when this started. And Ali got in the ring and he was getting beat bad by Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes threw like over 300 punches. And before the fight, Larry Holmes proudly declared that he was going to knock Ali out. He was going to be the person to knock Ali out. Knowing the issues that Ali had, knowing that Ali wasn't in his prime, knowing that Ali had to take the fight because of financial issues. He came into the fight overweight. And he basically in the 10th round, I forget, I think it's dude named Angelo Dundee. He stopped the fight. He threw in the towel because he didn't want to see Ali taking any more hits. Well, during this time, a young 14-year-old brother by the name of Mike Tyson saw that fight. And Ali was friends with Mike Tyson's boxing coach. And so the next day after the fight, Tyson was able to get on the phone with Muhammad Ali. And Tyson made Muhammad Ali a promise. He said, when I grow up, I'm going to avenge you. Fast forward 7 years. Tyson, he went through like 3 different organizations and became champions of all of them. When he got in that ring with Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali walked up to him and whispered in his ear and reminded him of the promise he made and told him to get that dude for me. And I BS you not. Tyson got up in that ring and beat the brakes off of Larry Holmes. So the same thing that Larry Holmes did to Muhammad Ali 7 years before that, Mike Tyson got up in there and beat the brakes off of Larry Holmes. So when I say I feel like Tyson in 80, 88, that's what I feel like. I feel like we're here to avenge every single damn thing that those people fought to make sure we had to deal with. They came together a lot. They came together to lynch us. They came together to burn our building, our businesses, burn down our cities. They came together to destroy our economic wealth. They came together to beat the brakes off of our ancestors. And we're here for our vengeance. So while y'all going through all these issues, there will be no coming together. I'm going to be there just like Tyson, hitting you harder and harder with every shot. Because I'm here to avenge what y'all did to my people. There ain't no coming together. There ain't no this is what they all want. Damn classism, because it was you who chose to put classism before a great America. The promise of America. You wanted classism. As long as you saw a black person happy, y'all came together to destroy it. Whenever you seen a smile on our face, y'all had to come together to destroy it. Salute my brother Black Truth. Thank you for being here, family. This was y'all. You have a whole playbook of the different things that you guys did to our ancestors. So now that y'all feeling that little bit of peace, now that y'all seeing the reverberation of your own hate, you want to come back and say, hey, you know what, black guys, black women, we all need to get together. I wasn't expecting nothing like this to happen, but since it's happened, we need to get together. We need to fight this tyrannical system that's been oppressing us. We're all oppressed. No. Where was that we're all oppressed when we was telling you how you was oppressing us? It wasn't there. Consistently, you folks have used racism as a tool and a weapon. So much so, the economy has lost over $16 trillion due to your racism and discrimination. Let's go here before we close out. If you haven't seen this article from Citibank, well, this is from NPR, but the study was done by Citibank. Cost of racism, U.S. economy lost $16 trillion because of discrimination, bank says. I want to go right to the meat of this. Let's go here. Since 2000, U.S. gross domestic products lost that much as, let me go back up. Let's go back here. Nationwide protests have cast a spotlight on racism and inequality in the United States. Now, a major bank has put a price tag on how much the economy has lost as a result of discrimination against African Americans, $16 trillion. Since 2000, U.S. gross domestic products lost that much as a result of discriminatory practices in a range of areas. So trillions of damn dollars. Trillions of damn dollars, including the education and access to business loans. According to the new study by Citigroup, it's not an insignificant number by comparison. U.S. GDP totaled $19.5 trillion last year. And not acting to reverse discriminatory practices will continue to exact that cost. Citigroup estimated the economy would see a $5 trillion boost over the next 5 years if the U.S. were to tackle key areas of discrimination against African Americans. So America is choosing to stay in debt. America is choosing the lifestyle. The lifestyle didn't choose them. They chose the lifestyle. Because with this information available, people are still running around here trying to push racist policies, trying to push discriminatory actions towards us. But yet they want us to get out in these streets with them and march to secure more freedoms for them. And that's a no for me. It's a hell no for me. And I don't speak for the family, but I'm sure I speak for the family when I say this. It's a hell no for all of us.
Get somebody else to do it.
Now, it might not work out with you guys because, you getting somebody else to do it. Nobody else got that swag that we got as foundational Black Americans. Nobody got that majority spirit. Nobody got any of the political relevance that we have. That political capital that's stacked up in foundational Black Americans' favor. Nobody else have that, family. No one at all. Salute to Keep-A-Line Nation. I appreciate you for your Cash App. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contributions, family. Nobody has what we have. And that's why it's not getting that attention. It's not gaining any traction. And it's okay. It's okay. Well, it's okay for us. We're over here on the couch with the popcorn, watching the chicanery play off. But I'm going to be honest with you, as I always am. You suckers did it to yourself. So if you feel the need to find another Black person and ask them, well, why can't we all just get along? You need to remember. That all the discriminatory practices that you guys have participated in, that was y'all coming together. And for foundational Black Americans, we came together to give all of you a collective, middle finger. Middle finger you, middle finger your wife, middle finger your children. Get it out the mud. This is what you wanted. So while you're getting what you wanted, smile. Because it's what you asked for. That chocolate cake that wasn't made out of chocolate that you crafted with your own hands and you went to the backyard to find the finest pieces of shit to put in the cake, that cake is now your dinner. And you should be smiling. You should be glad. Because we're very glad. We're smiling like the Joker. And I'm sitting back like Heath Ledger in the cell with the big old smile, just clapping my hands. And here we go. So, family, kick your feet up. If you need a new one, go buy you a new ottoman. Splurge on yourself. You deserve it. And then kick your feet up and watch the show as it goes on. Pretty soon, they're going to be in the Hunger Games mode. And we're going to watch that too. But with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please hit that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Family, we already knew what was going to happen. We already knew. Because when the chips are down, all they can do is come running back to us. When the chips are down, all they ever has done is come running back to us. And we're saying, hey, we see you. And it's a hell no. A hell no. So you might as well keep on running. Maybe you'll lose some of that beer belly. You might as well keep on running. Maybe you'll become healthy enough to actually fight the fight that you should be fighting, rather than coming to us trying to get us to fight a fight for you. Because in this fight, you are the Larry Holmes. Our people is the Muhammad Ali. And we are the Mike Tyson. And trust me when I say we're going to get that knockout. And with that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever can't stand us black people, he doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing, us black people going to survive. Yeah. So fuck everybody. I'm out.